This was actually what piqued my interest in grabbing this mystery bag. As you see, there's issue 127. Beware, it's Assistant Editor's Month. Don't say we didn't warn you. Oh my goodness. Welcome to today's video. I am the Dollar Bin Diver, and today I have another mystery bag of comics. I found another one of these at a local flea market, peddler's mall, whatever you may, and I already opened this one up, and I'm going to show you some of the neat finds in it. Okay, so starting off with Superman, Man of Steel, Funeral for a Friend. This is issue 20. I believe this was a 1993 issue. And keeping with that 1993, here is Superman in Action Comics. As you can tell, some of these are not the highest grade of comics, but the one pro of these mystery bags is the price. I believe it was $12 for 24 or 25 comics, so roughly 50 cents a comic. Okay, so moving on here. Continuing with the DC side, these bags were to be all Marvel and DC, so I figured 50 cents a comic would be just fine. So here is Teen Titans Spotlight on Jericho. This time, he's been pushed too far. I do not collect DC as heavy as I do Marvel, so I will have to give some of these a good read. Teen Titans, I have watched a lot of the animated series. They are fun to watch. Some good characters there. So I'll have to give this one a read. So moving on. Dead Man. I wanted Batman to find my killer, but instead I'm causing his death. I do not know as much about this run. Bob Haney and Neil Adams, a couple good names that I've got to read and see art from. So I have to give this one a good read later. Now I believe this is the last of the DC comics for now and there. This is Action Comics Weekly. Wild Dog Breaks Loose. This was actually one of the comics that I was able to see on the other side of the mystery bag, and I remember the character Wild Dog from the CW show, so I had to give it I had to check it out. Alright, so moving on. Now we're starting into some of the Marvel. This is Epic Comics. It's a 2 and a 4 issue limited series. Crash Ryan by Ron Harris. I have to say, I have no idea about this comic or this character. I will have to research it. I may just jump into the comic and see what the story is like, see how the art is. This may not be a run that I try to complete, but who knows? It might surprise me. Alright, moving on. Again, another Epic Comics and Marvel Comics group. This is Dreadstar by Jim Starlin. I don't know as much about Dreadstar, but this being a Jim Starlin comic excites me. I enjoyed a lot of the art, a lot of the content from Jim Starlin from the 80s and 90s. So this one, I just like the art style. He had some great cosmic stories. No idea what to expect in this one, but I would definitely be giving it a read. So moving into some 90s goodness. This is Thunderstrike, issue 12, Whiteout. This is another one of those 90s goodness runs that I am working on. I believe there are only 20 or 30 something issues, and I am over halfway completed on this run. So I believe this actually fills in a gap, which was nice. So 50 cents for that. Moving on. Hailstorm, Prince of Lies, Rites of Passage. Another run that I'm softly working on. I may already have this issue. I will have to refer to my collection. I don't know as much about this character. I am still in the process of collecting a chunk of the run before I dive into the read. But definitely seems like an interesting character, interesting story. And 2010, two in a 2-issue limited series. This is, what is this? The official comic adaptation of the spectacular new film. I don't know much about this comic or the film. I hate to say. If anyone watching this knows anything about this and would like to comment, feel free. I will have to do some research on that one myself, though. Alright, so moving on. Generation X. Let's see. Emplate's Vengeance. Interesting. Guest starring the X-Men's Bishop. Generation X is not an X-Men related title I have been collecting, but I may give it a look. I do like some of this 90s, early 2000s art style, as goofy as it may be at times. So let me set these to the side. So moving on back into some DC. One thing I did like about this mystery box was there were several issues of, in this case, Firestorm. So that's actually issue 77, 78. One downside was I got a duplicate of 77. Then issue 90 and issue 93 of Firestorm. No partial runs there. I do have a few, what is this? Elemental War, part 1 of 4, and the conclusion. I guess they need 91 and 92 to make that a consecutive read there. I did think it was neat that I got several from this run of Firestorm. I am not currently collecting Firestorm, but I will have to look for those more now. Okay, now the other one you might have seen at the beginning was the New Defenders. There were a couple of those. This was actually what piqued my interest in grabbing this mystery bag. As you see, there's issue 127, Beware. It's Assistant Editor's Month. Don't say we didn't warn you. Oh my goodness. Issue 130, that's an awesome cover there with Valkyrie. I am not currently collecting the New Defenders heavy, but I do have to admit I enjoy the art style from the 80s that we get in these New Defenders issues and on these covers. So, and then last one, issue 131. Not quite as realistic and dark, but a nice cover as well. So this was the haul for this mystery bag. I believe I counted roughly, I think 24, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, so 20 comics for $12. Just over 50 cents a comic. I think that's a nice little find. Some fun little reads there. And continuing with my cheap and affordable selection, my drink of choice for reading and enjoying these will be the Christian Brothers Honey Brandy. Now this is a cheaper end honey brandy, and normally I go with a Kentucky Special Bourbon In this case, the Kentucky specialty will have to be the L8 that I mix it with. Alright, well, thank you for watching my video. Please like, subscribe, and check out my other videos.